Hello. Hello. Hello.
Yes, sir.
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
Okay. So basically, I'm discussing about your braking distance. Okay. So I think it comes to this point that your change in kinetic energy is equal to work done due to frictional force. Change in kinetic energy is equal to work done due to frictional force. I write here change in kinetic final minus initial. I just write initial kinetic energy because final kinetic energy will become 0. So half mv square is equal to, here I also eliminate the value of negative sign here because this negative and here negative comes out to be positive. Here we write frictional force into LB. This is braking distance. This F we know F is equal to that means frictional force is equal to mu into N. This F is equal to mu into N. So you write half mv square is equal to mu into N dot LB mu into L into LV. So you write here half mv square is equal to, I write mu as F because I use this sign for our ski resistance or frictional coefficient F. We write N as W because normal reaction is equal to weight of vehicle and this is our braking distance. So this is our LV value. We also know here I write N is equal to W. N is equal to W and also your F is equal to mu. Your F is equal to mu. So here you write, we already know W is equal to M into G. So here you put half mv square is equal to frictional coefficient into M into G into LB. So basically this M get cancelled, this M and this M get cancelled. So here we get LV value as LV is equal to LV value is equal to VA square by 2 F into G. Can we get this value? Anyone say, can we get this value as
Yes.
our lag
Yes,
distance?
sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
So this is our lag distance LB is equal to V square by 2ZF. You all observe here. Here V is in meter per second. Here V is in meter per second. And this G is in meter per second square. Meter per second. Meter per second square. So basically, if you convert this V in kilometer per hour, and if you apply the value of G as 9.81, because you already know G is equal to 9.81 value. You must know this value of G or not? You know the value of G as 9.81?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay. So if you apply the value of V in kilometer per hour and also the value of G as 9.81, you get LV as LV is equal to V square by 2 5 254 F. So basically, this is the value of your lag distance. You already know the value of lag distance. Here we derive the value of braking distance. So this V is in kilometer per hour. So our task is over because we find our LL value, we also find our LB value. That means we also find our lag distance and then we find our braking distance. So basically SSD, so here we write SSD is equal to lag distance plus braking distance. So we derive two formula. One is this is your Vd into T if velocity is in your meter per second plus V square by 2GF 2GF 2GF. This is the value of your SST. Just wait. So basically this is your SST. SST is equal to Vd into T plus V square by 2GF. Next one is your, we write SST as, SST is equal to 0.278 Vt plus V square by 254 F. So you by heart this formula or this equation to solving your SST. So basically this is the SST. Okay, is clear to everyone?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
So basically this is our SST for flat surface. For flat, must write here for flat surface. For flat surface. This is the SST for our flat surface. For flat surface. Okay. So this is the SST for our flat surface. Next one is for what is the change in SST when our vehicle is moving on ascending gradient or descending gradient. So just I derive the formula for ascending or descending gradient. Next one is your for ascending and descending gradient. So second one is your, can anyone say Dharni? Can you say what is the formula of your SSD?
Yes, sir. सर अभी तो आपके पास सर 0.278 VT plus V square by 254 F.
Okay, good. Here you I define the value of B. You take in kilometer per hour. TR value is 2.5 second, and in lag, I think in braking distance, V square. You take V square. That means the value of a speed in kilometer per hour. Also, the coefficient of friction value is given in question. So from that formula, you find your SST. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so that is the case for your, I think, for flat road. For ascending, ASCE and DING, for ascending and descending gradient. So this is the case of ascending and descending gradient. That means when your vehicle is moving on a ascending gradient or when your vehicle is moving on the descending gradient, what will be and how our SST will get affected? Ascending and descending, sorry, and descending DES. Ascending and descending gradient. For ascending and descending gradient. So here I plot a diagram of ascending gradient. I think here is the case of your ascending gradient, and also here I plot a diagram of your descending gradient. Okay, here your vehicle is moving. I use another color. Here your one vehicle is moving. Here your one vehicle is moving. Okay, I draw the wheel of the vehicle. This is the wheel of your vehicle. So basically this vehicle will move on a ascending gradient. Here this vehicle moves with velocity or speed v This is the bed component or bed of a vehicle. Bed of a vehicle. This bed component is compensated by normal reaction. Here friction between road surface will also exist. Here friction between tire and road surface also comes in picture. So here also friction will come in picture. Exit resistance or frictional force also came in picture. Just wait. Here from our horizontal and inclined surface is present or ascending gradient is present, so this angle will be theta. So we resolve our bed component into sin theta or cos theta. So this is our W. This is our W cos theta. And this is our W sin theta. And this is our W sin theta. This is our W sin theta. In the same manner, at this section, when we apply the brake, this is the condition of your ascending gradient case. So this is the section at which your vehicle will comes out to be stopped. Take a practical example of your college. When you moving on ascending gradient, then your lag distance would not affect, because lag distance on flat surface and lag distance on your ascending and descending gradient will be same. Only your braking distance or your braking distance will be affected on flat surface or on ascending and descending gradient. So basically this is the section at which your vehicle will comes out to be, or your vehicles will be stopped. Basically this is our LV value. This is our LV value. Also here when you observe same condition here, but this case is your descending case. That means on descending gradient, this is your vehicle, this is your vehicle. Your vehicle will moves with this velocity. Your vehicle will moves with this velocity. Here also the bed component of vehicle will be acts in this direction. I think in this direction, bed component of vehicle acts in downward direction. Here we made a mistake. Here this bed component is comes in downward direction. So basically this W value comes out to be in downward direction. Basically this is your W value. Basically this is your W value. Here this W will be converted into its component in sine and cos, because this is also from a certain angle from the horizontal. This is the horizontal. Basically this angle is theta. This is V value. This is the normal reaction in value of your vehicle. This is the frictional coefficient between your road surface and tires. So this value is F and this value is W sin theta. Here you observe or each see carefully. Here you see carefully. Here W sin theta, here W sin theta and V value, here W sin theta and V value is in same direction. Here the value of weight component, that is W sin theta, and velocity is in same component, and your friction will be in opposite direction. But here, if you observe, the coefficient of friction and the weight component, that means W sin theta, will acts in same direction, and the speed or velocity will acts in opposite direction. So here our frictional force will be added with this W sin theta, but here the velocity will be added with this W sin theta, and this frictional force will resist with these two things. That means our frictional force have to be resist two things. One is your speed of a vehicle, next one is your weight component. But here our frictional force and W sin theta will combinedly resist this speed or slow down the speed of our vehicle. So basically this is the case on which our stopping side distance comes out to be minimum, and this is the case where we have to put our stopping side distance to be maximum. So if we derive these things in same manner, that means change in kinetic energy is equal to work done due to frictional force, you get a formula like that. So I write combinedly for ascending and descending gradient the formula of LV as. So basically by deriving those all things, we get LV is equal to V square, LV is equal to V square by 254 254 F. This is my frictional force, coefficient of friction, sorry, coefficient of friction, plus minus S. So when in question they give a vehicle moving with a design speed or a speed of 80 km per hour and rise on an ascending gradient or moves on an ascending gradient, then the value of gradient is 4%, the value of gradient is 2%, the value of gradient is 5%. You put for up gradient, you put positive sign. For up gradient, that means ascending gradient, you put or you use plus sign. For down gradient or descending gradient, you use negative sign. So basically our formula get modified. This is for our down gradient, so this is for our down. For down gradient or for downward, we use our negative sign. So basically our formula get modified. For the case of ascending or descending gradient, the formula for plane road or plane surface or plane terrain is different, because on plane terrain there is no any concept of gradient, there is no any concept of slope, but in ascending and descending gradient there is a concept of slope or gradient. So basically when our vehicle is moving on ascending gradient, you use positive sign here, because if something is added in this formula, because if you use v square by 254 f, but here you use v square by 254 f plus s in ascending gradient, you use v square by 254 f minus s into descending gradient. So maximum value of ssd will be comes out for descending gradient than for flat case, but we get minimum value of ssd for our ascending gradient. So must remember this point, the maximum value of SST comes out for descending gradient case, then for flat surface, then for then after we get for ascending gradient. So is it clear to everyone?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So I think I discussed all the things. Something will be left. So our formula get modified. So I write again our formula. So our SST formula is, so basically our SST formula is SSD is equal to 0.2 278 278 VT plus V square by 254 F plus minus S. If flat surface is given, then you do not use plus minus S, because for flat surface S value is 0. So if something is added in, if 0 is added in any number, then we get the same number. So if you, for flat surface you put S is equal to 0, but for up gradient you use F plus the gradient which is given in question. Then for down gradient you use negative sign that is given in question. So basically this is a complete formula of your SSD. SSD is equal to 0.278 VT plus V square by 254 F. For flat road, V square by 254 F plus minus S. This is the case of your up gradient and down gradient. Is it clear to everyone?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so to solve a problem, okay, solve a problem. Okay, question is calculate minimum ST. That means you have to calculate a stopping side distance. Find a stopping side distance. Stopping side distance is equal to what? Question is saying calculate minimum stopping side distance required to avoid a head-on collision of two cars approaching from the opposite direction at 19 km and 16 km per hour. So basically, I think I left with some concept. Okay. I just wait. So basically in today's class, I discussed these things. Braking distance LB for flat road, change in kinetic energy. Change in kinetic energy is equal to work done by frictional force. I already derived these things. LB is equal to V square by 2GF. V is meter per second, G is meter per second square. Then we also derive this formula. LB is equal to V square by 254F. Then for ascending and descending gradient, I draw this diagram. Then use same concept. Change in kinetic energy is equal to total work done. We use same concept and get this formula. LB is equal to V square by 254 F plus F, plus for ascending gradient minus for descending gradient. Then we derive this formula. SSD is equal to 0.2 VT plus V square by 2GF. Please absorb these 2 points, because these 2 points are very important, and these 2 points are our note point. So basically this is our note point. First point is saying SSD must be available at each and every section on the road, because you do not have any option to succeed or overshoot this SSD, because this SSD is also known as your non-passing side distance. So basically SSD must be available at each and every section on the road, because you do not allow your vehicle to collide with another vehicle, or you do not design a road in such a manner that one vehicle or one driver will collide with opposite vehicle, or any other obstacle. So at every section and at every I think on every lane, on an every road, SSD must be available for a driver. Next point is saying at the stopping side distance required on descending gradient, it is necessary to determine the critical value of SSD for the descending gradient on the road with gradient and for two-way traffic flow. As the stopping side distance required on descending gradient, I, I already discussed on descending gradient, a stopping side distance value should be maximum. So basically here they're saying as the stopping side distance required on a stopping side at descending gradient, it is necessary to determine the critical value of SST for the descending gradient on the road with gradients and for two-way traffic flow. I think something is missing in this point. Next, saying on the restricted width or on single lane road, when two bit traffic is permitted, minimum stopping side distance is equal to twice the SSD to enable both the vehicle coming from of opposite side to stop. So basically, observe here. Here, one vehicle is moving for single lane road. That means for this is your single lane road. That means the width of this lane or this road is 3.75 meter. I already discussed this point also, that the width of single lane road is 3.75 meter. So basically on single lane road, when two-way traffic is permitted, so when also you see or you practically observe this point in your village area, that uh, single lane road is available, but on that single lane road two vehicles will be moving. So one car, your car will moving from this direction to this direction, and your uncle car will moving from this direction to this direction on a single lane. On a single lane, or also in your village roads, only single lane is present. One car is moving from this direction, another car will be moving from another direction. So basically our IRC say on a single lane road, when two-way traffic is permitted, here two-way traffic is permitted because one way is this and another way is this. The minimum stopping side distance is twice the stopping side distance. So basically the minimum side distance is equal to, here you observe, this is the SSD of this vehicle, this is the SSD of this vehicle. So basically here our SSD will become 2 SSD. So you must remember this point. But on a single lane road, or where your width is restricted, or where your width is only 3.75 meter, and on that width, on that single lane road, if two-way traffic is permitted, that means one vehicle is moving from one direction, another vehicle is moving from opposite direction, then the SSD of that vehicle must be added for both the cases. So if you observe here, one vehicle is moving with 19 km per hour, 90 km per hour, and here from opposite direction one vehicle is moving with 80 km per hour. So basically you have to find this SSD, you have to find this SSD for this particular vehicle and for this particular vehicle, and your complete SSD will becomes SSD1 plus SSD2. So in this manner we find our SSD for single lane or where our width is restricted. So it clear to everyone? So this point is clear to everyone?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So I think these are the basic points, or these are the points which I left. So you all solve a problem. Find SSD when V is equal to design speed of a vehicle is equal to 90 km per hour, 90 km per hour. Total reaction time is given as, in question they give total reaction time as 2.4 second. So if in question they give 2.4 second, then you must take 2.4 second as your total reaction time, because in question they give, instead of giving 2.5 they give 2.4 second. This is your 2 point per second. And also they give the coefficient of friction as, they give the coefficient of friction as 0.35. They give the coefficient of friction is 0.35. What is the value of SST? So these are the questions asked in your examination. On a road, a vehicle is moving with 90 km per hour. The reaction time of a driver is 2.4 seconds. The coefficient of friction between tire and road surface is 0.35. Then calculate or find stopping side distance or minimum side distance. What is the value comes out? What is LL? What is lag distance? I think 90 into 2.4. What is the answer?
Sir, LL का आ रहा 2.216.
260.
216 sir, 16.
216. Okay, 216 meter. Okay, next.
Sir, 151 meter. Answer.
Then this value is 151. This value is 151.
No, sir. Total SSD.
Total SSD is
151.
151 meter. So you just apply your formula 0.278 into V into T. That means the value of V is already given, the value of T is already given. Then you apply V square by 254F. The value of coefficient of friction is already given. So just apply the basic concepts. Okay.